Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be doing an oil change on my Giulia Quadrifoglio. I'm going to show you guys the tips and tricks that I use when I'm doing my oil changes. I'm going to show you guys the tools that you're going to need. I'm going to go over the oil that I use. I do not use OEM spec oil, but I meet one that is a little bit better than that. I've just kind of changed everything up a little bit because I like to maintain my engine a little bit different than the dealer. I also do my service intervals, basically cut them in half. I think they recommend about every 10,000 miles or every 18,000 kilometers. I find that's a little bit too much, especially for, a tuned expensive engine like this. So I do mine every 5,000 miles or every, 8,000 kilometers or so. Just something I've, picked up as a habit. I like to just be on top of my maintenance with this. As you guys know, this is a very expensive engine if you have to replace it. So I like to try and take every precaution I can with it. Now I'm going to go over my oil as well. I don't use OEM spec. I use Motul 300V. Something I switched to a little bit ago. I know it's a big thing for guys who race that they like to use this oil. It was mainly just kind of a test out thing, and I've liked it, so I've been sticking with it ever since. It does have really good ratings as well, so I know a lot of guys use like stuff like AMS oil, but for me, I like Motul. It's just kind of a preference. So without further ado, let's get into it. I'm going to show you guys everything that I do here, and then I'll show you how to reset the service light as well. So. First thing you're going to want to do is take off the engine cover here. Just yank upwards. And then I'm going to take my flathead for the hose clamps here and basically just snap it inside there, lift it up. So that one's undone, and I do have the other one undone already here. Now with those removed, just give a tug and you can remove the intakes from there. You're going to remove the coolant lines along the backside, and then you're going to pull the intake out. So I'm going to just do that real quick. All right, and now that the intake's out of the way, you guys can see the oil filter. So I'm going to take an old microfiber and just jam it around underneath, mainly to catch any of the oil that's going to drip out, because it will definitely drip down. So get that out of the way. I'll show you guys in a second here. All right, that should be good. I'll take my 32 mil socket. So I've got my catcher right here just because I'm going to let that drain and put it in here right away. So I'm just going to let that drip off a little bit there. And there we go. 2, 3. And into the pan it goes. Now that that's out here, I'm going to pull my microfiber out. Just clean up anywhere it dripped. I've got my new filter here, so I'm going to just take a little dab of oil and I'm going to wet the O-rings real quick. And with that done, I'm going to reinstall the new filter. I didn't show, but you should torque this to 25 Newton meters as it is called out, or that's about 18.5 to 19 foot-pounds of torque. So I did that. Now I'm going to reinstall the air intake. And with the intake back on, the hose clamps reinstalled, the coolant lines reconnected, I've removed the oil cap, and we're going to go underneath the car. Okay, so I took out the undertray so you guys could get a better look here. There's actually 19 bolts that are holding it on. So I'll just take a look here. I'm going to circle it on the screen. All right, and now that we're back underneath the car here, we're going to take a 13mm wrench to crack the drain plug. Finally, we can reinstall the drain plug. £15. All right, guys, so now we're going to take our oil and fill it up. All right, guys, and now that we're done our oil change here, I'm going to run the car for a little bit and just let the oil move around. Then I'm going to open up Multi ECU Scan and I'll show you guys what to do. Okay, guys, we've got Multi ECU Scan open here, so we're going to go into the service area here. Service interval reset, connect. Now, as you can see at the top, we're going to go into adjustments, next service KM reset, execute. Yep. Perfect. Now, if we go into parameters and we click on these to view them all, as you can tell, it shows last service date, December 28th, 2024, which is today's date. The service interval, 16,000 kilometers, which I didn't adjust. And then the distance till next service, 16,000 kilometers. So that's how you reset the service on Multi ECU Scan. All right, guys, now that concludes this video. I got my oil change completed. I reset my service interval. I do have to get back under the car though and reinstall my under tray, so I'm gonna go do that. But thanks for watching. Comment, like, subscribe, do whatever you gotta do.